In today's 6 minutes, we are going to try to add a camera to our player. You notice that when we play our game, our camera does spawn like at the center of our character. So what we want to give it like a specific view. I think I'd go for this one, and also like create like inputs where I'm able to look around, so I can look right, left, up and down. So quickly we'll just create two important components for this to happen. I'll name it spring arm. This allows us to like get rotation like controls, like viewing controls, and also we can add camera. Yeah, so we attach our camera to our spring arm, and on the spring arm settings I can use control rotation. We can basically inherit everything, and then also when you select your character, you'll be able to see like from this camera how you'll be able to see like your character inside the game. So I'll quickly do some edits on the spring arm just to elevate it a little bit low. So I'll push it back a bit up to 600, and then elevate it a bit on top. I think that's okay. Yeah, well, I like that. So when we hit play, you'll now be able to see, we can see our character. So the next thing is we want to be able to look around with our character. So basically change the perspective of our character using like our controller or our mouse and keyboard. So to do that, we need two functions, that is add your controller input, and the other one is add pitch controller pitch input. So this allows us to basically look along the z-axis, so we can be able to rotate our camera at the z-axis, and this along the y-axis. And for reference, we have like a little guide here for the y and z-axis. So the z-axis enables us to rotate in this way, and the y-axis enables us to look up and down, right and left, and up and down. So, and to do this, so there is a proper way of like binding controls in Unreal Engine, and that would be through through enhance input systems. So I'll quickly create two inputs. That's for looking around. I'll call it input action. I'll just say look around, and quickly create some subfolders here. I'll call it inputs. The next one I'll call it characters. So quickly I'd move this one to the inputs, and our two characters to the characters. So you also notice that as we're moving along, I'm trying to organize our project. So we go to the inputs and create a context. So we can name it input context default. And for us to be able to access the input content, to set the default context of our inputs, we basically need to come to the begin play and set our context over here. So we are going to get the player controller, and then get enhanced input local player subsystem, and then set our context. So what we're going to do, we're going to add context, and this allows us to select the context that we've just created, and then we can hook that up to begin play, and we can come back here at our controls and say, and call the look around Yeah, you notice that it has an action value that's a boolean, so we want to go back and change that to a vector 2D and save that. So going back to our player, we get this value, we can break it and take the X value to the yaw input and the Y value to the pitch input. So what we can do here is just drag this to the dragon triggered to the input yaw and then follow up this to the pitch, and basically that's it. Final thing, you need to add our input to our context. So I'll take look around and basically set the bindings now. So I'm going to look to set it to the mouse, and I'm going to take mouse X. Then I'm going to add another one where we have like the mouse Y, and then remember on mouse X I'm going to add a modifier right here and change this to world space. So I'm basically saying use X value and use this one, use the default value of it. So when I save and come back to our map, just making sure that our blueprint is okay, everything's okay. When I click play, you can see I'm able to look around. Sorry, I've just made a big mistake. These ones we need to alternate these ones, so I'll delete this one and go back to the Y and set this as to world space. So when we go back to our map, we'll be able to move our camera smoothly and look around. So that's it for today. I hope you have a great evening.